What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we head to my friends over in the Campbell Memorial area, home of the Rockin' Red Devils. Girls basketball coach Ashlyn Cleevely joining me today. Coach, what's up? How we doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. And I always like talking about this upcoming season. And, one of my favorite times of year is basketball season. Love high school basketball coverage that we provide. Excited to see what you got going on this year, too. Take me through some of the excitement you have for this team this year, and take me through some of the roster, too, and some of the big names we should be seeing this year from the team.
Well, this year I'm returning everybody, so I didn't lose anyone last year. So I'm excited to see what the girls can do, having another year of experience underneath their belt. My seniors are going to be Mylisa Williams, Leasia Miller, and Amira Kamal. My juniors are Yaleshka Diaz, Joralise Perez, Brianna Floyd-Brown, Maya DeSantis, Ariana Gonzalez. My sophomore, Nani Rodriguez, and then look for some couple freshmen, Bella Felix, Kayla Coriano, and Liana Kakariz to get some playing time in there, here and there.
You talked about not losing anybody, returning everyone from last year, too. What kind of foundation does that set for this year, too? What does it allow you to do based off of just bringing everybody back, having all that chemistry from last year carry over to this year?
Yeah, the chemistry, like you said, so far it's been good. I think everyone's better understanding of how each other are playing. We're building off what we accomplished last year. So that's good to see the girls improving. We don't have to go over things that we've, already gone over in the past. They already have that, some of those foundational skills. So in order to just take that next step with the girls that are already there, because again, they already have that year of experience underneath that belt, already playing with each other, already are familiar. So, yeah.
We've seen how sports have turned around at Campbell Memorial. Tyler Allen has completely resurfaced the way that volleyball team looks, and we know how girls' sports now, they're operating. Softball teams found their success, too, as of late. You talk about this, too. What does that do for you as a coach, too, having just a lot of these high school girls walking around with a lot more confidence, maybe a little bit more swagger, knowing that they can do it rather than questioning if they can do it?
Yeah, this year I have 23 girls on my roster. So Campbell Memorial Sports for girls is great. In order to just to have that many kids, it's phenomenal. Kids are more interested in playing different things and trying different things. So it's good. If we keep holding them accountable, on the volleyball court like Tyler Allen does, and I do the same for basketball, and Mr. Kish is the same for softball. We can build a dynasty here. We keep holding them accountable in multiple different ways in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. So, they see hard work in multiple different things, and they're starting to understand what it's going to take in order to be successful, not just in one sport, but multiple sports.
I know you also teach over there, too, and you get a lot of love and praise from the students there, too. You're always like one of the tops, and I feel like the favorites, too. What's that mean to you, and what's it like for you to just be able to build that connection with some of these kids outside of the court, too, and in the classroom as well?
Yeah, I love, teaching, coaching. I try to keep those two different things separate because I feel like, on the court, I'm completely different to how I am in the classroom. But coming to school every day, saying good morning to these kids, seeing my administration, seeing the people I work with, I love what I do. And then, going to the basketball court and seeing my girls, it really, truly is a family. And I feel like I'm surrounded by good people, no matter where I am, if it's school or on the court.
When we're talking about on the court too, what do you kind of use as your measurements for growth? How do you determine if you're seeing growth and success in a player over time?
I would say holding their accountability. I think when they make mistakes, they're starting to understand, that's my bad, or they're starting to ask questions. They're starting to see the game a little bit more. So it's not just like, oh, let's do this. They want to grow. They want to pursue. They want to get better, and they're pushing themselves every day to do that.
So we talk about your practices too. Which one of your favorite parts of practice when you have all the girls?
My favorite part is the running, the conditioning. That's my favorite part. I'm just blowing my whistle, having them do suicides or up downs, whatever we're doing. That's my favorite part.
What do you when you talk about this year's team too? What improvements do you want to kind of see from last year's team? I know you guys were younger. You got a lot of them were getting their feet wet. What kind of things do you want to see improve from last year for this year to have maybe a little bit of a better season?
Yeah, I mean, last year, I started mostly sophomores and freshmen. So this year, just to slow the game down a little bit, I want the offensive end to come to them. I want them to see what type of defense the other team set up, and I want them to see, the holes and what the mismatches and how we can exploit those. Defensively, just preaching effort and energy. And I so far in practice, I've liked what I've been hearing. I like what I've been seeing. The girls are really pushing themselves and holding each other accountable too. So it's refreshing.
Basketball season at the high school level is one of the longest in any high school sports. It's darn near 5 months long too. So you talk about how long that season can be. A lot of adversity, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things outside of your control can happen on and off the court. How do you kind of, I guess, navigate through rough waters like that too and try to find yourself on the other end?
I lean on the people around me, right? I preached about being a family. So, I have a good coaching staff around me. I lean on them. I have good administration. I have a good athletic director. So just relying on the people around me to, realize, like you said, it's a process. And we're playing the long game. If we have a bad practice or if we have a bad scrimmage, whatever it is, it's always a new day the next day. It's always time to regroup and realizing the fact that, it is so long that we need to look at the bigger picture instead of a smaller one.
You talked about some of your staff too. I want to give you that opportunity to shout out your staff, highlight some other big names in this program this year that's going to really help make things go.
Yeah. So, 23 kids on my roster, so I need to have a bigger staff this year. So I'm excited for that. My assistants are Austin Jones, Janet Jackson, and Angelise Diaz. Janet Jackson coached with me last year. Austin Jones is new. He's an addition, but so far he's been great. And then down at my middle school, I still have JD Childers. I moved him down there to, help run that, to take initiative of my youth and grow that so they can be ready by the time they get to high school ball. And Sarah Marucci.
Let's go through the schedule a little bit too. I know that MVAC too on the Scarlet side, it presents all kinds of challenges. It feels like a Wild West kind of situation where it feels like an anybody's ball game any given night. Talk to me about that. Also highlight some non-conference games you're kind of excited to test your girls with.
In conference, I'm really excited to play our in-conference schools. This year I'm looking to just be more consistent. We competed against some games in our conference last year, but then, other games didn't go as well we thought. So just looking to be more consistent, more competitive, and I that's my hope. Out of conference, we're playing East Palestine. That last year they had a pretty decent, and I know they were young, so excited to play them again. We have Chalker, Wyndham, and Valley Christian. So excited to, get those out of conference teams and, but the conference will prepare us for those out of conference games for sure, because our conference is really good across the board.
So you talk about just preparing these girls over the course of a 22 game schedule too. And I mean, this question kind of gets different answers depending on where different teams are and kind of what the goals are. What would you kind of define as a successful season when all is said and done for this team?
Just the buy-in, the girls need to have the buy-in every day. Continue to preach that energy, continue to preach the effort, continue to preach, that we're playing the long game, considering this year, again, only have 3 seniors, most juniors and sophomore. So it's just continuing to, grow and focus on, one thing at a time. So if we're focusing on, the control of the offense and our pace of our offense. And if that gets better that day, then that's great. Focusing on, rebounds one day. Like if we run the rebounding board, that's great. Like focusing on those little wins instead of like a collective,
Coaching is one of those things too. It's a very rewarding thing, but it could also make you have those self-doubts at times too. How do you kind of navigate when you have those kind of self-doubts too, to kind of reassure yourself you're doing the right thing?
I honestly, I pray about it. I go back to my coaching staff, they keep my head on straight. My friends around me, my family, my mom, especially, she keeps book for me. So she's at all my games. She keeps book. just to run through things and talk through things and, reason through things. It's refreshing and it helps me for sure.
I love that you have that buy-in from a lot of people around you too. I think that sets up for a lot of success. What's one of the hardest lessons that coaching has taught you? How has it made you a better coach, maybe a better person?
Hardest lessons. I think it's going back to your last question, that there are going to be, the highs are going to be high and then the lows are going to be low. And it's just trying to be, consistent, bringing my best self no matter what, to the court every day for the girls, because they're owed that, my best energy, my best effort as well, if they're doing that for me. So yeah, like the highs are high and the lows are low.
I feel like everybody's and every coach's taste and what they like to see basketball wise is different. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about basketball is there's more than one way to get it done and more than one way to be successful. In your eyes, in your vision, what does great basketball look like to you?
Sharing the basketball and up in your face defense, like aggressive on defense, just pestering on defense, and offensively sharing the basketball. Assists, I want the mindset, assists matter more than the points scored. Passing. So yeah.
What kind of got you into the sport of basketball? What kind of made you want to keep pursuing it as a coach and teaching the youth?
Honestly, my dad, when I was younger, he signed me up for, YMCA. So, little, Ashlyn, Cleevely, 5 years old playing basketball. No idea in the world what to do. But I liked how aggressive it was. I liked how hard it was, honestly. And yeah, my dad, he just pushed me to be better. And that's how I fell in love with the game.
Over the years from being a player to now a coach too, how has your perspective kind of changed?
I definitely see the game differently now that I am a coach and as a player. As a coach, I think it's personally more frustrating because you can't go out there and do anything. Like you see it, but I think learning more about it as a coach now, I've gotten different input from multiple different people, multiple different coaches. So I'm definitely seeing the game in a whole new perspective than I was when I was a player.
All righty, Coach. Before I let you go, I always want to ask theme questions. That's my kind of thing every single year with our basketball coaches. And this year, it's about it being beyond the game too. So my question is, what made you realize that this job was more than just basketball?
Honestly, just the connections I make with all these kids. I think that means more to me than the wins, the losses, the highs, the lows. Just seeing, these kids grow, learning more about them, what they like, what they dislike, see them excel in other things, not just on the basketball court, but in life in general. I think that's the highlight for me.
Coach, I'm so excited for your team this year. I'm so excited to see these girls continue to step out there, continue to grow each and every game. I'm excited just to see what this whole offseason has brought to in terms of improvement too. You always got a fan in me over here. I always love that Campbell community too. I'm always rooting for those Rockin' Red Devils. And in due time, I'll see you guys out there on the court real soon.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.